A budget crisis looms due to falling enrollment.
The app Yik Yak is banned on campus.
You tell us how you're affected by Michigan's new minimum wage law.
Plus, this week in Andrew's history.
AU News starts right now.
This is AU News.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for another AU News. I'm Boone Minhart.
And I'm Fonda Mwangi. AU News is produced jointly by the Intro to News Production and News Editing classes in the Department of Communication.
In a few weeks, the university's Board of Trustees will meet and decide how much to raise student tuition for the next year. It's a difficult decision in light of the fact that enrollment is down and costs have gone up. Stella Ng has more in this report.
This year, Andrews University's enrollment is down 4.9%. This lower enrollment from 3,516 last year to 3,418 this year means the university has lost $1.5 million and has some difficult financial decisions to make.
So we have to figure out what's the appropriate staffing to care for those number of students that are here in the classes that we're teaching.
Larry Schalk is the Vice President of Financial Administrations. He's in charge of balancing the $2.8 million operation funds. The university had projected lower revenues when the budget was put together earlier this year. But the enrollment drop has turned out worse than anticipated for schools, like the College of Arts and Sciences.
2% drop is all we were planning on, but we actually got almost 5% drop.
Administrators like College of Arts and Sciences Dean Keith Mattingly are taking a hard look at the options before them.
First of all, what can we do to increase money? Will there be any new programs, something different that we could do that would attract new students? We want to look at each of our departments to see if we're offering programs that are costing us but not drawing students. We want to look at how much everybody's teaching. We want to look at the whole overall curriculum to see if we are doing the best that are drawing students in any of these programs.
Despite the lower budget, one of the areas the university is very sure about keeping in check is tuition increases.
If we increase it too much, we even get fewer students.
We will be very, very careful in looking at trying not to increase that rate of increase in student charges for the next year. In other words, we will try and keep the increase at 3% or less.
So it's now about balancing the budget while maintaining a quality education. This is Stella Ng reporting for AU News.
It's a new app. Everyone is talking about it, Yik Yak. Our reporter, Lucero Castellanos, tells us why the university took the extraordinary step of blocking access on campus.
A friend at Southern actually texted me and said, Livy, has Yik Yak hit Andrews yet? And I was like, what? No, what's Yik Yak? What is that?
Yik Yak is a mobile app that has recently become very popular on college campuses. It promises the ability to communicate with anyone within a 1.5-mile radius of where you are, and to do so anonymously.
He said, Livy, it's terrible down here. Please pray for Southern.
Last week, Yik Yak exploded at Andrews, and it immediately drew concern from AUSA President Livy Knott.
I did feel like, man, this has the potential to really break the morale of a school.
Knott decided to take action against what she thought was bullying and offensive behavior.
Send an email immediately to some people in student life, just asking what are solutions, what can we do about this. I didn't know if they were aware of it, or I just wanted them to know.
Eventually, Provost Andrea Luxon heard what was going on.
Saying, well, if you want to do this, if you want to use Yik Yak in a negative way, don't use our system. Don't use the university system for it.
And a decision was made to block access to the app via the university's Wi-Fi network. The university has authority to block the Yik Yak app because students have signed a document agreeing to a code of conduct that generally states students must respect all persons and Adventism.
Let's give students opportunity to talk, be constructive, criticize, object to things, have free voice. All that is really good. We would never want to take that away. But if people use an advantage to be anonymous, to do things that are destructive, then we don't want that to have an Andrews University name attached to it.
Does this mean the end of Yik Yak on campus?
Realistically, I think everybody checks it on their phone, so if it's banned on the network, I just scroll up, tap the wireless button, scroll down, and everyone still has it. But maybe just like taking one more step to make something inconvenient can have an effect, maybe.
This is Lucero Castellanos for AU News.
A new minimum wage went into effect in Michigan September 1. The rate jumped from $7.40 to $8.15 an hour. And by 2018, the rate goes up to $9.25. We took to the streets to get your reaction.
I have not heard about the increase in minimum wage.
I have heard about people trying to increase the minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
I have not heard about it.
Yes, I have heard about it.
I have heard of it because I work in human resources.
Yes, I have, and I think it's a great thing that we're getting more money for our work.
I haven't heard about it, so I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I feel it's necessary.
I think it's good because the students need their money.
I think it's amazing. I think it's well-deserved, and it comes a long way in making sure people get what they deserve.
I feel like an increase would be nice. I don't know how large of an increase it is.
I think it's good, but I think not good enough yet because we work a lot and sometimes it's hard work. I get like $8.15. That's not enough.
There's some positives and negatives to it because when you increase minimum wage, it has kind of like a ripple effect on the rest of the economy.
I don't know, it's kind of, I like it, but at the same time, the food price is going up as well, so it kind of evens out. So.
I'm currently working, and yes, in the past I have received an increase in my pay.
Yes, I am working in Science Complex right now, and I did get an increase in my wage.
Yes, I work at the cafeteria, and yes, I have seen that increase on my paycheck.
I've been paying my phone bill with this, so it's kind of productive.
Just going to my budget for nothing really specific. It's just making my budget more, I don't know, livable.
Now for this week in Andrews history. We take you back almost 100 years to October 13, 1918, when Spanish flu was sweeping the country. In a specially called faculty meeting, Emmanuel Missionary College administration and faculty voted to close the school for a week. It hit the young adult population especially hard. In places such as Great Lake Naval Training Station across Lake Michigan from Berrien Springs lost almost 500 young sailors. Emmanuel Missionary College was fortunate. By the end of the epidemic, the school had lost only 4 students, 3 young men and 1 young woman, a newlywed who was the president's secretary. The school closing went on for weeks, virtually wiping out the fall term of 1918.
That's it for this week. Thanks for joining us for another AU News.